Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So happy Monday. I hope you're all having a beautiful start to your week so far. And I am going to be starting by shuffling the Energy Oracle cards deck. So I really don't know what is going to be coming through today's reading video. I am really just going to leave things open-ended and see what messages want to come up in the reading based on the energy that you are bringing to this reading video today, which, by the way, thank you so much to all of you who are here on the channel, tuned into this community and bringing your own beautiful high vibrational energy to every single one of these transmissions. I am so grateful for all of you, and I am really reflecting on that even more right now since we are coming up to the end of 2025 in just a couple days. And there's something about this time of year, I think, between the holidays that many of us celebrate and then the new year, that really gets me in this self-reflective mode. It feels like this time of review in a sense. And as I look back over this past year, I am just filled with so much gratitude for this whole community and for all of you who have been sharing this time and space here with me. So I would love to know in the comments what you are most grateful for from 2025, because that energy of gratitude and appreciation will really fuel your 2026 and start off the year in such an aligned way. And writing that in the comments can be a way to even more powerfully emphasize that energy and really lock it in. So let's go ahead and get started here. On that note, maybe there's something about the power of gratitude coming up for you. I know that someone left a comment on some of my recent videos requesting a gratitude subliminal for my Sound and Soulful Subliminals app. So that is something that I'm planning on creating, because gratitude really is the fuel for our manifestations. Having appreciation, having gratitude is one of the easiest and most effective ways to shift our vibration instantaneously, no matter what our circumstances or situation. If we can find something about it that we genuinely feel grateful for or appreciative of, that can be an instant vibrational shifter. So what can I channel? I heard the word chrysalis. I also could be getting the name crystal, or maybe talking about crystals like gemstones or something of that nature for someone listening here. But with the attachment card in the reverse position, coming out with that word chrysalis, which of course speaks to the metamorphosis transformation, I feel as though I'm hearing there's some kind of, this is such a specific message. I know I usually say this at the beginning, but whenever I do these readings, I channel into many specific people, situations, energies, and dynamics. So I always say, use your intuition and only take the messages that do connect for you in a personal and intuitive way. But I am getting some kind of message about someone becoming aware of a negative energy that was connecting with them in some way. I'm hearing slipped under the radar or like bypassed the filter. I feel like there's someone or something here that was creating some kind of almost like a distortion in your energy field that may have bypassed your usual filters. So you may not have been aware how this person or thing was affecting you. Now, what I'm getting for some of you is that the person or thing coming up here may not necessarily be inherently negative in and of itself. It's that there's something about how it would come in maybe like to your day or to your life in a way that was without boundaries, in a way that would almost like infiltrate time that was meant for yourself, that was meant for some kind of like spiritual practice or meant for you to tune into yourself. And I'm hearing replacing your guidance. It's almost like this is someone or something that was starting to try to almost replace your guidance, meaning your inner guidance, your pure connection to your own source, by causing you to outsource that sense of guidance to whatever this person or thing was. And again, I don't get the sense that whatever this is inherently negative or anything like that necessarily. Only you can know for yourself. But what I'm getting, I keep picking up something specifically about the morning. I'm seeing a sunrise in my mind's eye. The sense I get is that while this may not be inherently negative in itself, without boundaries, it becomes negative because it's infiltrating some kind of space or time for you that is meant to be strictly for yourself or for some kind of practice, that something about this practice was connecting you with your inner guidance, with the pure connection to source that you have within yourself. And so for some of you, I keep getting something about the morning. There's something being emphasized about the importance of those morning blocks of time, which I know many of you are aware of, and many of you utilize those morning segments of time in powerful ways. But in the morning specifically, our mind is in an entirely different frequency state of being. And so our subconscious is way more impressionable in the morning than later on in the day, especially the first 20 to 30 minutes of the day. So there's something about reclaiming your mornings or reclaiming that beginning part of the day. Now, if it doesn't resonate specifically as the morning for you, this could be you reclaiming wherever or whenever that time and space is for you personally, that allows you to reconnect with the pure source within yourself. I'm hearing go to it directly. Yeah, it's almost like you are reclaiming that internal connection to your own guidance rather than letting anyone or anything attempt to, in small ways, start to replace that guidance. I don't know who this is for. I know that this is very nuanced, but I feel like this is something that you just became aware of with attachment in the reverse position. I'm hearing also that there's some kind of heavy energy that's being blocked out of your life. And I'm getting the word repulsion. So this may be someone or something that you are feeling a repulsion towards. And the reason that you're feeling this way is because of a shift within yourself. And I'm getting that this was someone or something, or like an energy that you used to allow into your life, or you used to want to connect with or want to have in your life in a certain kind of way. For some of you, I'm hearing this even felt like someone or something that was really difficult to let go of, that felt like you really wanted to stay connected to, even though you were aware that there were certain like toxic patterns or dynamics within that person or within that thing. But interestingly, as you've shifted something within yourself, you're now feeling a repulsion towards whatever this is that you used to feel a draw towards. And I'm hearing from the guides that that is actually one of the greatest signs of healing. One of the biggest signs that you've truly shifted your vibration to a higher level is that you feel a repulsion towards people or things that were creating a negative dynamic in your life that you used to feel an attraction to, or even like, I don't want to use the word like an addiction for, but that's almost how it felt, like something that was continuously pulling you back into it, almost like an emotional addiction. But now it's not doing that anymore. You've freed yourself from that cycle, from being consistently pulled back to that person or thing. But the reason is because you've shifted your energy in a way that is causing you to exude a frequency that is so healed and so whole and so complete within yourself that that pattern or that person has literally nothing to latch onto in your energy field anymore, because you've healed whatever that was. Now, the thing that I keep getting is that if this is a person or like multiple people from your past, by the way, this is reminding me of, I'm just now remembering that one of you left a beautiful Instagram comment on one of my recent posts, and you asked me to speak more on the dynamic of the 3D versus 5D shift, and how when you shift your energy to a higher level, you start blocking out things and people that carry a lower vibration. And that just popped into my mind because I feel this is actually in response to that question as well. Although many of you may have been silently, internally requesting more information about that also, because of course that is part of the co-creative process as well. Those requests don't have to be spoken out loud or typed in a comment section because they are felt just through your energy, through you being present here. But what I'm getting is that there's another layer here. The other layer here is that there is a part of you, I feel, that at times wishes that you could still connect in certain ways with people or things from your past. Maybe not even necessarily the people or things that brought this negativity into your life, but people who you may have engaged with more in the past that you're just no longer feeling a connection to. And again, this doesn't inherently make them negative or anything like that, but I do feel that they're on this different frequency level. I'm hearing going through their own lessons, and they've been blocked out of your life because as they go through those lessons, although they may not be doing it intentionally, they're still on a lower frequency level that would dilute or bring down your energy if you were to connect with them too frequently or too consistently. And so it's almost like you're feeling this disconnect or even this like repulsion when it comes to connecting with certain people or things in your life. Or in other cases, they may literally be bounced out of your life. Like you literally may not be able to reach each other fully in terms of communication, because our communication increasingly on this planet has less to do with the physical actions that we are taking, picking up our phones to text or to call or to make plans or whatever it is. It has far less to do with that, even how physically close we are or far away. It has far less to do with that and far more to do increasingly with our vibrational compatibility, because we are becoming more energy-based beings on this planet, which means increasingly everything in our lives, every person, every connection, every situation, etc., is being attracted to us or repulsed away from us according to our vibration, according to our energy. And so what you are probably finding increasingly is that there may even be certain people or things that you wish you could still connect with in the same way, but the frequencies are so different between you and that person or you and that thing that there's quite literally this rift, this energy rift that is preventing the two of you from being able to fully connect at this time or fully communicate at this time. It's kind of like how sometimes you've probably noticed that you can be in conversation with a person, even standing face to face, talking to them directly, looking into their eyes. And yet, if you are on a very different frequency from them, no matter how much you try to explain yourself or talk to them, it's almost like they have this glazed over look in their eyes and they're not fully hearing you or processing what you're saying, even though you are speaking all of the explanatory words to them. And the same can happen vice versa, where someone can be talking to you, but their frequency is so different from yours that you may literally not be able to really hear or comprehend what they're saying because your energy is on such a different level from theirs that there is this vibrational wall between the two of you. There's this like rift that's happening even when you're standing face to face conversing. Because again, it's increasingly becoming less about the action, the physical, the 3D side, the words you use, the way you try to explain yourself from a 3D perspective. And it's increasingly becoming more about the energy that you're exuding, the energy they're exuding, and how those two energies are meeting in the middle. Are they harmonizing? Are they compatible? And when they are harmonizing, the beautiful thing is that it's like the opposite is true as well. Just like you can use all the words in the world to explain yourself to someone who's on a different frequency and they won't be able to hear you. On the other side of that coin, when someone is harmonizing with you energetically, you could sit in silence with them and feel understood. You also could use words that feel messy or that might feel like quote unquote the wrong words, and yet your energy still comes across to them because you're connected in that way. So they just get you, they just understand you, even if the words don't come out right. And so that is just an example of how because of these recent shifts, well, planetary wide, this is happening collectively, but it's even more so happening within you because you are on the leading forefront of these collective shifts and changes. So a lot of this has been happening first to you for some time. And I would love to hear from you in the comments if you've had experience with this for some time. I know that on my recent collective reading, some of you were saying that you have had experience with some of what I was talking about, even dating back like decades. You've been feeling some of those shifts coming, which many of you are sensing those shifts that happen even decades later on or years later on. Many of you have been sensing them for a while now. You've been sensing the shifts that are now happening and becoming more talked about collectively. So, wow, I'm surprised we got that much from this one card. And I actually feel like there is something else that's coming up here, but it doesn't seem to be fully emerging yet in the reading. So I'll see if it comes around again when the time is right. But I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle some of the cards here. By the way, in the extended version of this reading, I will be diving deeper into forms of heavy energy that you may be releasing from your life, and we'll also be channeling more information in general about this powerful frequency shift that you've recently undergone and what else we can really pull through about that shift. So the link to listen to the extended version of this reading is in the pinned comment and description box below. You can listen either from Patreon or YouTube memberships, depending on your personal preference. And when you join the memberships on either platform, you get access to 3 additional exclusive bonus readings just for members every single week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So here I have the hostilities card in the upright position. So I'm genuinely curious why this card is here. I don't sense any conflict energy necessarily right now within you, but I feel that there is some kind of conflict energy that may be triggered outside of you. Now, the thing I'm getting about this is I'm hearing looking for a fight. You may have certain people or things who are feeling very triggered by you, who are in essence, like I'm hearing walking on eggshells. Maybe these are people or things you feel like you're walking on eggshells around, almost like they're looking to pull you into drama or pull you into some kind of a fight or something like that. But the sense that I get is that you are very distanced from whatever this conflict energy is. It feels like this distant echo that I'm hearing from like miles and miles away that really isn't affecting you or your personal experience in this life in any kind of real way. But because you're very psychic, you may have some kind of intuitive awareness of it regardless. Like you may be aware that there is this conflict energy way off in the distance, that there are people who may be trying to capture your attention, I'm hearing, because your attention is your energy. And for some reason, when I heard the word attention, like ATTENTION, I heard attention, like A_TENSION. Like there's tension, muscular tension or vibrational tension or something. And so like there's something about how if they can get your attention, they can pull you into tension, into some kind of like conflict or like dissonant energy. And your attention really is, I'm hearing, your most valuable offering for yourself or for another person. Whenever you give someone your attention, you are giving them a major gift. But also when you give yourself that attention or your work or your passion, you are giving yourself a profound gift and you are investing in yourself. And I feel that at this time, there are many people and things who may be trying to trigger your attention even in a negative way, because even a negative reaction out of you, even negative forms of attention from you would be a net positive for this person or thing, because they would still be capturing or like getting some of your energy even in that negative reaction. But I feel like you're not giving them that. I feel like you're very, very disconnected from all of that. But I am hearing something about allowing the disconnect, because with some of these people or things, they could be people or things that you desire on some level to have some form of connection with. I'm hearing like idealistically, like in a healed form of that connection. And that's absolutely possible on some potential timeline out into the future if they choose to rise into that potential. But I'm getting that it's very important for you to continue not giving attention to people or things trying to trigger you into negativity or drama or chaos. I'm also hearing about, there's something coming up about how when you argue or like participate in conflict with these energies or like try to debate them or something like that, there's no winning. You lose either way, because either way you're feeding your attention to someone or something that is getting a hit off of your energy, while at the same time you're taking attention away from yourself, away from your creations. You are diluting your magnetism in the process. I'm hearing even if you are able to prove that you're correct or prove a point in that argument or debate, you've still lost in the sense that you've given so much energy and focus and attention to someone who is getting that hit off of your energy while draining you and diluting your magnetism in the process. Because I'm hearing something about how silence makes you more magnetic, and you may be noticing at this time that there are certain things that you simply want to be silent about to allow yourself to maintain that state of magnetism for your own desires, for whatever you are attracting into your life. And you may be recognizing that when you break that silence in certain ways, you leak some of your energy and dilute that magnetism because you're trying to prove something or communicate something to someone who is on such a different level of frequency. And like we said earlier, because they're on such a different level of frequency, they quite literally don't have the ability to fully comprehend you or hear you. And I'm getting that intuitively you know that on some level, and you can sense it about someone. There may be certain times where you feel your intuition telling you to hold your silence, and you may not know why. For example, sometimes when it even comes to sharing positive things, you may feel guided to hold your silence. Like when you're around a certain person, you may have a little voice in your head saying, don't share that dream or that goal or that idea or that win even, because there are certain people who are on such a different level that they will only be able to receive those things through the filter of their own fears or their own lack mentality or whatever the case is. And as a result of that, they will then project onto you negatively and actually dilute the magnetic energy that you were feeling around that win or around that vision or that goal. That's why sometimes you may have noticed that when you have a really powerful, exciting idea and you share it with someone who's on a very different frequency level, you merge energies towards that idea together. And so your energy mixes with theirs when it comes to that idea. And you may notice that after sharing it, even though you were really excited about it, it's almost like you dull some of that excitement, or you start to lose motivation, or you feel deflated. Whereas when you share certain ideas with other people who are on your level, who are embodying that higher energy, who are seeing that goal or that vision through the eyes of excitement and enthusiasm and inspiration and passion, you will find the opposite effect. Sharing that idea actually amplifies your inspiration, your motivation. So pay attention to how you feel after sharing positive things with certain people, because that will give you a lot of information about where they are at vibrationally, where their energy is at. If you are consistently sharing something with someone that you're really genuinely excited about and then instantaneously feeling deflated after sharing it, that is a sign that that person carries a lower frequency energy. And so they are projecting onto you unconsciously when you share your dreams and your goals and your visions and your ideas. This doesn't necessarily, of course, mean that they are a negative person generally or anything like that, but it does mean to be very cautious and self-protective about what you share with them when it comes to your dreams and your visions, because they are not on the frequency level to be able to hold the bigness of those visions that you have for yourself. And this can be a challenge when you're someone who is such a visionary, like I feel that you've always been, because most likely you are someone who has always had grand visions for yourself in your life. And I'm hearing the visionary of a family or a community or whatever the case is. I feel that you've always been like the greatest visionary in many rooms that you've walked into, but the guides are kind of correcting me and saying, well, not correcting me, that is how it's been for you, but letting me know that moving into the future, that is going to be shifting. You're going to be walking into rooms where you no longer feel like the greatest visionary in the room, but you actually feel inspired up to an even higher level by the people that you are going to be meeting and surrounding yourself with and connecting with, by the tables that you are sitting at, so to speak. So I really do feel that shifting for you. I feel that in 2026, if you are watching this video at the end of 2025, I really feel that you're going to be starting to attract in people and things that actually resonate with this level of energy that you've been carrying within yourself. Whereas for so long, you've had to sort of be in this solitude or this isolation because you've had this clear awareness that your vibration tends to be so much higher than what else is happening in the room. But you're going to feel very differently from here on out. You're going to be entering rooms that actually match your vibration or even elevate you to a higher level. So there is something else coming up here that we have to talk about regarding this conflict energy and people like trying to pull you back into something. There is someone romantically coming up here from your past. And with door to romance reversed, this is a person who feels very much shut out of your life. The strange thing is, I feel like this person shut the door on themselves, but now they're in regret. I'm hearing point of no return. This person may feel like they did or said certain things that they can't come back from. They definitely feel like they did or said things that may make it very difficult to come back into your life. I got the word apologize. So this may be someone who wants to apologize to you, but maybe they don't even really know where to begin or what to say. I got the name Peter for someone. Now, I do want to shuffle some cards here. Oh, I heard people allowed me to people influenced me to do what I did. That's what I'm getting from this person. They feel like there were people or forces around them who confused them when it came to you. And now they're in regret because they feel like they walked out of your life and shut the door behind them on themselves. But I'm hearing you were the one that decided to lock the door. It's like this person chose to walk out, and it's almost like there was a small part of them that was almost trying to call your bluff. I feel like you are the kind of person who knows the value of your energy. And if someone chooses to walk themselves out of your life, to mistreat you, to ghost you, to disappear on you, I feel that you've reached this point of self-love where you're willing to lock that door behind them. And I feel that that is what you did with this person. Like, they didn't think you would actually do it, meaning when they walked out of your life, I feel even though they seem to be influenced by people around them to do this, on some level, I feel like subconsciously they were testing you. It's like they were testing your commitment to your own self-love and your own boundary, like almost testing, will you choose me over your own self, over your own self-respect? But you chose self-respect. And I feel that when this person walked out, you didn't chase after them. You didn't try to convince them to come back. You simply locked that door behind them and remained focused forward in positive ways in your life. And now they're in deep regret because, I mean, they created this situation themselves. And I actually feel that this person did have a deep love for you, but obviously there are some wounded patterns here that cause them to be easily manipulated by people around them and to walk themselves out of your life in that manner. Now, it's entirely up to you whether or not you desire to give this person another chance to approach you correctly in the future. But in either case, I am curious to know more information on who this person is, possibly how they may be thinking or feeling towards you at this time, whether they're likely to reach out or to reconnect, and if so, what that would look like. So all of those details on this specific person, if it's connecting, will be in the extended version of the reading, linked underneath this video in the pinned comment and description box. Okay, so let's go ahead and reshuffle the cards and see what other threads of energy want to come through here. So what other people or things are connecting with you right now? I heard the word twin flame, so someone could have a twin flame connecting with them spiritually, energetically, in the physical in some kind of way. I'm hearing a disconnected twin flame for some of you. So this is going to be very specific, but if you've been on a twin flame journey, I feel that there is a twin flame that you physically disconnected from or set boundaries with in some kind of way a while ago. And this person, I feel I'm actually hearing whatever boundaries you set or whatever distance you created, you may have thought that you were consciously setting those boundaries or creating that distance. And from some perspective, you were, but on a deeper spiritual level, you were only enacting the spiritual boundaries that were already set in place. What I mean by that is when you felt a desire to disconnect or create space or move forward with your life in certain ways from this twin flame in the physical, you were feeling guided to that intuitively because your intuition was telling you that, spiritually speaking, those boundaries were being set in place, I feel like, by your guides and your ancestors and your higher self because of how you were treated within that situation in the physical. However, of course, because this is a twin flame connection where you share the same core frequency on a spiritual level, I feel that you've remained connected to this person energetically and you've continued to feel this bond, but you've had to dramatically surrender when it comes to how this connection has been looking in the physical. With the strategy card reversed, every time your conscious mind gets involved here and wants to try and find a sense of certainty or control in this twin flame situation that you're dealing with, things start to feel out of whack for you because at this time, you are meant to be surrendering into how your intuition is leading you now in the present, which again, your intuition has been leading you to enact in the physical boundaries that have been set in place in the spiritual that you are sensing through your intuition have been set in place. But I got the number 3113. So I do still see that even if you are completely out of contact with your twin flame here, there is a profound mirroring that's taking place between the two of you, even at a distance, even disconnected. I'm hearing something about them mirroring your healing and your growth in unexpected ways. So regardless of whether or not you desire to reconnect physically with your twin flame in the 3D, which is entirely up to you, I'm getting that in any case, your twin flame, surprisingly, maybe it's a surprise to you because that word surprise keeps coming up, but they've been mirroring your growth and your shifts and your changes in your own life in their own way. And I do feel that there's going to be some kind of sign where you either notice or see in a clear way that this person is making positive, visible changes in their life and mirroring your growth and your healing. You're either going to see or witness that, or this is someone who's going to try to reconnect with you and reach out. And if you are open to any form of reconnection, they would be sharing with you the positive shifts and changes that they've made in their life. Or maybe for some of you, this person is in your life in some form and you're already seeing or hearing about these shifts and changes that they are making in their own life. Now, of course, I always advocate for listening to your own intuition because we all have a unique soul's blueprint in this life that guides us in personal ways. And so whatever feels right and most aligned for you, trust that because that is your intuitive voice leading you into your highest alignment, your highest timeline, whatever that looks like for you personally. So I always advocate for listening to your intuition when it comes to this twin flame situation, if this is relevant for you. But if it is connecting, I'm going to go a lot deeper into this whole dynamic in the extended reading. So we're going to look at what's going on in this twin flame's energy and their thoughts and their emotions, and also potentially how this growth could look moving forward and what it could lead to, because I see a lot of mirrored growth taking place between the two of you. So if that's connecting and you'd like more info on that, the link to the extended version of the reading is in the pinned comment and description box below. I just saw the number 3333, which is a beautiful synchronicity. So I'm going to start wrapping up the reading here, but I am going to be pulling a card from my Rumi Pocket Edition Oracle deck. So what can I channel for all of the beautiful souls here? What is one final message that they need to hear at this time? Okay, two cards came out here, Blood Angel and Cosmic Heart. Blood Angel says, in the midst of the darkness, a moon appeared with its brilliance. And the message is, an opening to receive. You must empty what has been. Wow, if anything sums up what 2025 has been for so many of us collectively, I feel that sentence really does summarize so much of this year of the snake. So I'm going to reread it. An opening to receive. You must empty what has been. Grace is not about an exchange of equal measure. You will receive according to the great generosity of life itself. More shall be offered in compensation for what you are willing to release. Allow for a new influx of energy. And the other card is Cosmic Heart. I have seen everything. I have no fear. I have the heart of a lion. I shine like Venus. For life to work out with perfect synchronicity and generous grace, there is nothing you need to understand. You have been asked to bear darkness without losing hope for the return of the light. Here you are, still loving, still wise, ready for a love that is bigger than you have ever experienced. So I feel like that message really speaks for itself. I love ending these readings with Rumi because I feel like it's so beautiful and aligned. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If you do feel any connection point personally to this reading, I would love to hear from you in the comments section. And if you would like to continue on with me now to the extended version of this reading, where we will be diving deeper into the messages, the link to listen to that is in the pinned comment and description box below. I would love for you to subscribe if my energy resonates for you. Join our beautiful community here on YouTube. Otherwise, have an amazing day, and I will connect with you here again in tomorrow's video.